Hi, I'm Pebbles and I'm back again with another channeled celebrity video. This one we referenced him in the last video, and so it's perfect that he's appearing in this video. I say we because the last video that I did was Michael Hutchence, and of course he participated in the video just as much as I did, you know. So the person that I'm talking about is the beautiful and the very humorous George Michael. He is very humorous because he is he's smiling, he's here, he's here, I can see him, he's just there. He is very humorous. He's come through to me a couple of times, and he is always in a great mood, in a humorous mood. He's funny, he makes me laugh. His personality is amazing. It's yeah, I mean, he's just funny. So he's sitting really comfortable now. He is in, before I start, let me show you, he is in the video for he has, how he's shown himself to me, as I say, and how he has before as well, is exactly like he looks in the video, Fast Love. So he's sitting in that chair. People when they come through to me, they sit in chairs, and George brings this chair with him. He doesn't just want to sit in the chairs that's usually allocated for them. He wants to sit in the Fast Love chair. So here he is. Isn't he beautiful? That's how he's shown himself to me tonight. That's how he showed himself to me previously. He seems to like this look. He told me that he was happy with his hair when it got done like that. I remember when he first came through to me, I was like, is that why you connected with me? Because, you know, you had curls and I have curls, and, you know, we both blow our hair to get the curls out. So that was a little joke that we had between us. But yeah, he seemed to be very happy with this look. You know, he kept it, you know, and for future albums and covers and things like that, and obviously, you know, in his life. So yeah, it was a hairstyle that, you know, I think he favoured. Well, actually, you know, he said that, didn't you? I'll ask him anyway. I don't know why I'm speaking about him like he's not even here. Did you like that hairstyle? Yeah, he's rubbing his hand on the top of it, and he's saying, yes, it was manageable, it was smooth. The curls and the frizz, the hairdresser managed to get rid of the curls and the frizz for him. So yeah, he kind of liked that. It was a beautiful cut, and you know, it was a really nice glossy look. So all credit to whoever did that, because yeah, it did look very neat. It does look very neat. So yeah, this is how he's presenting himself to me tonight. He has come through before, a little bit more of the Faith look with his hair highlighted and blown back, but again tonight he seems to favour this look when he comes through to me. And if anyone's wondering, you know, how George Michael first come into me, or how I got him to come through to me, well, I'll tell you, I didn't try and get him to come through to me at all. It makes me laugh. I think it's quite funny. I didn't get George Michael. I've not asked anybody who I've channeled to come through to me at all. And the first that I felt that George Michael was around was actually in September. And well, I was at my sister's house. It's like, it just makes me laugh. This story, it just makes me laugh. And he's good, and he's sitting laughing and smiling, because it's just, yeah, it was just something I didn't expect. I was in my sister's house, and we were talking about how, I mean, I used to be a really good fan of George Michael's, and then I perhaps hadn't listened to him like over the years a lot, and you know, I wouldn't have classed myself as a really, you know, die-hard fan. I was in different stages and stuff, and my particular favourite songs are like Fast Love and Let's Go Outside and Too Funky, which of course, you know, many years ago, and that was out in around 1992. So I had certain specific songs that I really, really loved, and a lot of the sort of more popular ones, like Careless Whisper, Jesus Was a Child, was ones that I hadn't really listened to that much. I tended to sort of favour other ones. So anyway, we were having a conversation about that, and you know, we were just saying, I was like, well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, George Michael's got a great voice, but you know, it's not, you know, it's not like amazing. You know, we were having that conversation. I was like, yeah, it's not amazing, but I hadn't listened to him in quite a long time, and we're just having that conversation anyway. So the next day, no, actually it was the same evening, I went home, and then I just had this real urge to like start looking up George Michael songs, looking at the lyrics for Young Guns, when he was with Wham, all different songs like that, looking for songs, looking through the songs, listening to songs. I found like another song which I don't kind of recall hearing, called Move On, which was amazing. Posted that up on social media, just felt like that was something I should do, could relate to the lyrics. And anyway, just, oh gosh, for like weeks, probably about 3 weeks, I was like listening to George Michael, everything I did. I was like, put my earphones in, listen to it, blow dry my hair, listen to George Michael, in the car, listening to George Michael, looking up George Michael's lyrics. Just this constant bombarded with George Michael songs. I really felt this overwhelming urge to like listen to him, look up more songs, put more songs on my phone. So there was that. Then then I was going around, and it just seemed like, even though I hadn't really heard George Michael songs when I was going out and about, they'd come on in the shop. They'd come on if I went to somebody's house. You know, the channel they'd have on would be completely different songs, and then I think it was either, I can't remember if it was Last Christmas or Careless Whisper, something like that, a slow one, that came on. I was like, are you following me, mate? And I kind of felt like he was around, but I just was like, well, he can't be. Why would he be? You know, I'm sure there's lots of other people that he would rather, you know, be around. Why is he gonna, you know, come around me? But I really felt that he was. But again, I was just, I just dismissed it. I just thought, well, that just cannot be. So then again, we're in April, so like last month, I think it was, or I think it was February, we were in my sister's house again, and we were talking about just 80s music and stuff, and we had a conversation about Shirley, who's part of the backing singer of Wham, who's in Pepsi and Shirley, and her husband Martin Kemp. We were having a conversation saying how, you know, Martin Kemp looks, you know, really well and healthy and fit and healthy and stuff. And my sister was cold this day, and she was actually sitting in front of a fire. Okay, it doesn't mean anything much now, but okay, so then I went home, and yet again, I still kept feeling the urge that George was around. Anyway, so then one day I was sitting on my sofa, and you know, my spirit guides were kind of like, okay, get off the sofa, you know, channel somebody. And anyway, I usually get the name and I see who the person is that's coming through, and I got the name George Michael, and I got to hear the songs in my head, and I was just like, no, that's not who it is. And so I was waiting to get confirmation of who it really was, and I was just getting more confirmation that it was George Michael. And I was sitting there, and you know, and you kind of feel like someone's having a laugh at your expense, and I was just like, why are you doing this? You know, I was like, spirit guide, you know, you're normally there to support me and help me, and you never leave me wrong, but why, you know? And I was sitting there, I was like, these are all having a laugh, this is a joke. I was just sitting there feeling really silly. And then George was there, and I could hear, and I was like, is that you? Is that really you? And I couldn't even bring myself to say the word George, because I was just like, I'm sitting here, and I can't even say that, because it just seems so mad. It's like, I'm not even going to say the name because I really feel stupid saying it. So I'm like, is that you? And he's like, yes, it is me. And then he's played Faith, and he was saying, you've got to have faith. So I was like, right, okay. So I'm starting to think like, okay, well, maybe it is, but still. So I said to him, well, okay, then if it's you, then what songs of yours have I got on my phone? I just think this is like so funny. He just said, well, not as many as you should have. I just think that's hilarious. We just said that, and I was just like, oh, okay. So I yeah, I asked him to sort of come through a little bit because he was in the, as I say, the fast love chair. He was sort of sitting in that, and it kind of felt like I was looking at a video. And I said to him, you know, you're not going to step forward a little bit more, can I not see? And he said, well, this is just a preview to the main performance. And I was like, so am I going to get the main performance in this sitting, or is that going to be another sitting? And he was like, well, that depends on you. And I kind of thought he was like being a little bit cheeky. And then it was the next day that I realised, I was like, he was saying depends on me whether I'd want to invite him back. And it's like, yeah, of course. I'm like thinking, why would you want to speak to me? And he's like, well, you know, do you want me to come back? And I'm like, yeah. So it was just like really humorous and cheeky and just such a lovely personality that, you know, just you know, can't help, you know, really laughing about how he is. And he's yes, he's going like that now. He's like, see, I told you, and you know, you didn't believe me. But no, I didn't, you know, I didn't believe him. But yeah, so one of the things that he told me in that sitting was the fact that for the video for Faith, to get his confidence up, because obviously he had to leave, you know, he left Wham and he started a solo career, so yeah, to get his confidence up for that video, and to just feel the feeling of the video and how he envisioned himself as being Elvis. So that was the reason. This is what he told me. You know, that's the reason why he had the collars up, the aviator shades, and he had the leather jacket. He really sort of put himself in the feeling of being Elvis. And when I looked at that video after that, I thought, oh yeah, okay, you can see that in the way he sort of dances, because I remember in, you know, in my teens, I remember sort of watching some of Elvis's old movies. For some reason I went through this little phase of watching them, but anyway, it was kind of like, yeah, I thought, well, I can see that's what he means. But yeah, he put himself in that feeling to give him the confidence to do the moves to that video, to do that, to film that video, and just get into the feeling of doing that video. So I just thought that was quite an interesting thing that he told me. So yeah, he did come through, but yeah, I really, you know, had a hard time believing it. But he has been back a couple of times, and he's been beautiful and really nice and funny every time. In fact, tonight when I brought him back, I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing his face on my t-shirt. I said, you know, George, you know, do you like the t-shirt? You know, I've got your t-shirt on. He said, well, yeah, it still doesn't make up for the fact of the lack amount of amount of songs that you've still got. And it's like, I've added more songs. And then I was like, you know, I can't get Michael Hutchinson's song out of my head. Usually I hear the person's songs in my head that come through. And tonight, while I was even speaking to George, you know, I could hear Michael Hutchinson's song, and he's like, yeah, that's because you've been playing Michael Hutchinson's songs non-stop. And I was like, okay, I admit I have been playing them. But of course, before I was playing Michael's songs non-stop. But yeah, I've just recently been playing a lot of INXS. So, but yeah, he loves his music he played. He loves to like look up his lyrics and check out his lyrics and things like that. So you've got a thing to say on that. You do like that, don't you? Or he's saying, well, yes, because a lot of work was put into those lyrics. There's a lot of uplifting messages in those lyrics. And if you look them up and you listen to the words, not only is there a high vibrational feel to a lot of his music, but the lyrics themselves can take you to a higher realm, he's saying, a place of peace, which I'm sure many of his songs did. I'm sure, you know, a lot of people would testify that, you know, that was the case, that their songs helped them through particularly maybe difficult times or just certain times in their lives. But he's also saying that well, yeah, sorry, continue. There's a lot of meaning to the lyrics as well. If you really take the lyrics to your heart and you really listen to them, rather than just, because I'm not always a big lyrical listener. I tend to just sort of listen to the instruments more, but I've got that way now that I'm starting to go, right, okay, let's look up those lyrics. So he's saying that if you look up the lyrics and not just the meaning to them, but listen to them and figure out what the lyrics actually mean, even mean to you, there's always hidden meanings and messages behind the lyrics, and that's what he intended a lot of the time when he wrote them. A lot of the lyrics that he wrote was ahead of the time. Bearing in mind as well, when he was only very, very young, teen, early 20s, when he wrote some of his lyrics, some of the songs. So we can see now that many of them were ahead of time, and now as well that he's in spirit. He has a higher perspective of things now, a deeper awareness of things now, more of an understanding of things. And he's saying that he wasn't always aware of many things that went on here when he was on Earth. So he's saying when you're in the middle of it, you don't always sort of see, and you don't always see exactly where you're standing or what position you're standing in, as in when things occur, what could possibly be the consequences of those things when you're in the midst of it. So the analogy that he's using is the fact that if you were sitting on a cloud, your sight and your awareness would possibly be hindered, because if you were sitting on a cloud, you would be amongst other clouds, so your vision would be clouded by clouds basically, so you would just see more clouds. It's only when those clouds clear and maybe you went high above them that your vision and your awareness would be heightened, because you'd be able to see. So I usually call it he's reminding me that I usually call it a rooftop perspective. So as if instead of being down on the ground, if you're up on the roof, it would be more of a perspective that you would see. And that's what he's got a lot more of now that he's on the other side, a heightened awareness and a perspective. Like, it's hindsight now, and now he looks over things that occurred and is like, right, okay, I understand that so much more. I see the reason why that happened or that played out, and also responsibility for his part in that. Although there is a lot of times that he thinks things could have been handled better by others. It wasn't always through fault of his own. But what he's saying is that there's just a lot of things looking back on his life here that he can understand and see that transpired, the reasons why, and he just wasn't able to navigate his way through a lot of the situations, perhaps as I'm just waiting for him to say it. He's thinking how to word it. As best he could have. Could you think of another word? As best as he could have. Some things could have been handled better. Some things perhaps were mishandled, but he did the best he could while he was here to handle the situations, a lot of not easy situations that he had to deal with when he was here. He handled them the best they could at the time. So he just wanted to make that known. Thank you. He's standing up. He's standing up and he's clapping and he's bowing, because I got that right here, because I was just saying to him before, Freddie encouraged me, so I want some encouragement for you for this video now. And I was saying, Michael Hutchins, he just lounged around all the time. He was very encouraging. He was brilliant. But I said, he didn't get up. He didn't stand up, actually. He didn't give me a round of applause. So if you want to score some brownie points, then you can stand up and give me a round of applause. He actually is already. I thought that would maybe come later on, but he's doing it now. And he's very comfy in that black chair. There's normally chairs for the spirit. I know that sounds weird, but there's normally chairs like allocated for spirit when they come through. I normally see the chairs first, and then they come and they sit in the chairs. But George likes to bring this chair, and he there's no speakers in it. He laughed at me because I said, well, there's no speakers in the chair there is. Then he was like, well, why would I need the speakers? But he's laughing and he's referencing the fact that, you know, that chair cost thousands and thousands and thousands and pounds, and he said the budget for a lot of the videos was insane. That was his words, you know, it was insane. But yeah, he likes that chair. He's saying that he likes to give the illusion that he's sitting in a comfy chair, although it's not actually uncomfortable, the chair, if he was to sit in the other one. But he just likes to bring that chair. He does like that chair. So I mean, I think it's an amazing chair. It's a great chair. It's definitely my style. So he's happy about that. So he's very comfortable. He's got his black leather jacket on, but he's got a white t-shirt underneath the black leather jacket. The white t-shirt seems to be popular with the men. But yeah, he's got a white t-shirt under the jacket, and he's got dark blue jeans on, and he's wearing like a dark cowboy boot. No, okay, it's a boot. It's a boot with kind of like a big leathery looking piece to it. But yeah, show me the boots. Okay. So yeah, he's just showing me his clothes, shaking his jacket. Yeah, so he's wearing the same jacket that's in the video as well. He's pointing that out. So George has got a few things that he's going to talk to us about today. He's going to talk about confidence. He's going to talk a little bit about love. We'll see how it goes anyway. We'll see what he's comfortable with. Sometimes they do want to go into certain topics, and then sometimes they may decide, if they're just sitting here and they're just enjoying it, they just go with the flow. So we'll see where he goes with that. So what is it you want to say, George? He's saying, well, I don't know, where should I start? Whatever you want to start. Should we talk about what you were saying about your lyrics and guidance for people? What is it we can do? What is it we can do in our lives now that's going to lift us, make us feel better? What's going to be beneficial for us to do? Now he did say before, like, well, you know, you can't hardly ask me, look what I did when I was here. I was hardly the person to go to, and that's when he went into the higher understanding perspective that he can see now. And he's referencing himself as Uncle George as well. So yeah, what is it you wanted to talk about now, about for us? What's going to be beneficial for us to do? What advice have you got? What advice has George Michael got for us that we can do, and things we can do in our own life to make things better now? With all like the negativity and, you know, the control and what's transpired in the world now. What is it that we can do? Because you know a lot about that as well, don't you? So. Okay, saying, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. He understands about, not feeling control and feeling controlled with all that played out, you know, with Sony. There was court cases where he didn't feel like he had, you know, control over his music, his image and so on. And he wanted to break free from that. So in some ways, obviously, we are in, you know, a situation kind of like that, and a worldly situation like that. We're wanting to break free from conditioning and other forms of, you know, control. There's a lot of you know, silencing going on, hidden things at the moment. So What is it that you want to say about that? Okay, so he's saying at the moment, what I would say, as in him, what he would say is creative expression is the word that he's using. He's saying that there's it's key to be creative. Whatever it is that you can do in your day to be creative, whatever it is that you do, or what's passionate for you, whether that be writing songs, making music, playing an instrument, art, design, crafting, going for walks, yeah, anything like that is your passion. Don't stop doing that. Keep doing that. Make sure you have a lot of that in your life. Because he feels it's very important to be creative, because we are creative beings at the end of the day. And when he's saying about going for walks, yeah, he showed me the leaves, like an autumn day. It's leaves flying around in like a wooded area, like a forest. So he's saying he loved autumn. He loved autumn days. He loved taking his dog for autumn walks. Yeah, that was his favourite weather. That's my particular time, my favourite time of the year as well as autumn. I love autumn weather when the leaves are all around and it's just that nice, crisp, cool air. So just listen to what else he's saying. He's saying it's important to be happy. He's saying regardless of what's going on in the world, there's a lot of suffering in the world, but there's always been a lot of suffering in the world. There's now it's just been exposed to everybody 24/7 on a more massive scale, but it's always been there, which we know it has always been there. When I was a child, even many years ago, there was always things on the TV. It's just that now we're being bombarded with a lot more, but there's always been so much, so all the time. And then it wasn't frowned upon as such to be happy or to have a good day, whereas now there's kind of like that message, or you can't be happy, or you can't be getting on with things in life because look what's going on. So yeah, he's saying our angels and our guides he's saying our angels and our guides encourage us also to be happy, keep a high vibration. They are often there lifting us and encouraging us to do that, even if we don't always know it and even if we don't always feel it, although we do often feel it, but we just don't know where that feeling's coming from. I know I've certainly felt that, but he's saying that you can always ask them. He has one. He's saying that there's many beings there, but he has one that still is with him now, that guides him. And he often spoke about that in some of the songs. I know Move On, I think even Let's Go Outside, he referenced, like, his friends in high places and talking to angels. Because he's saying he did do that, he knew the power of asking for assistance. He feels that a lot of his songwriting channeled and came through the assistance of divine beings. He knew and felt that he was assisted with that a lot. He had earlier parts of his life, he had heightened intuition. So on an intuitive level, he often felt a lot of things. He's sometimes seen things that were going to transpire before they actually did. But he felt that he did get a lot of help, despite the a lot of the difficulties they had. That he did feel that he was being guided. He did feel that. Of course, they can't stop you from experiencing all of the difficulties, but they are there to help you navigate through the challenges and the difficulties. So that's where they come in, and he knows that they were very supportive of him, and he was aware of that when he was here. So yeah, I mean, I thought he was, and they do. Yeah, obviously we still do have to go through challenges, but they do their best to assist us in doing that, and trying to make the path smooth and easier, you know, as best they can for us when we are going through things. I've definitely had that. I've definitely felt that. He's saying as far as what's going on at the moment, he's actually saying don't listen to the masses, don't listen to the masses. Anything that's coming from the masses, it's you've got to ask where is this coming from. The people that you should be taking advice from are the ones without a hidden agenda. Often those ones who speak the truth are the ones that are seen as the crazy ones. But sometimes people see things that others aren't aware of, and when you do see that, a lot of times you're frowned upon because you're not falling in line with others' beliefs and what is the conditioned norm, he's saying. So those who say things that tends to differ from what is being said on a larger scale are usually the ones, that are looked upon as being crazy, and he's using the word conspiracy theory. People are just often dismissed as being that. But he's saying that there's a lot of truth in those things. There's not, obviously there's some there that's quite outrageous, but the majority have hit the nail on the head with where things are going and how things are transpiring. And that needs to be listened to before it's too late, because this is a pivotal and important time, and we have to move ourselves on in the sense of moving ourselves forward and getting ourselves out of, how he's putting it and what he's shown me is the quicksand, getting ourselves out of the quicksand. There's carry on. There's a whole lot going on behind the scenes that is not particularly pleasant. He's talking very slow. He's trying to, he wants to word it correctly, but he's being careful with his words as well. So just give me a little moment to just okay. So what he's saying is there's a path that we do want to take, and there's a road that you don't want to take. a longer road that you don't want to take, and there's a path that we do want to take. The path that you do want to take, you have the potential and the power to do that if you wish to, but you have to be aware, and you have to be willing to take notice of what's going on around you, and also just look at the bigger picture. Just look at what has transpired. Look at the changing goalposts. What's happened over the past 2 years. What's happened over the past 2 years, yet look at the changing goalposts, how things that are being promised have not quite played out in the way that they've been promised. So yeah, that's speaking carefully, because there's certain things we're not allowed to mention here. So what's transpired, I'm going to say it as best I can, and this is how he's saying it. So what's transpired over the past couple of years, listen and just go back and replay what we were told at the beginning. How many times the goalposts have changed, and just think, if that makes sense. Give yourself a chance to relay to yourself what it is that's happened, and just ask yourself, go over the past events and ask yourself, does that really ring true? He's using the word conformity, and he's saying use your awareness. Awareness is key. Use your awareness to discern for yourself what it is, where this path is going. Which path do you want to choose? He's saying that he's referring to one as the long road, and one the path. So the path is the one that you want to choose, the path that you want to go down. But he's saying that, yeah, if you can discern for yourself and just ask yourself a few questions. Have you ever sat and asked yourself? Sometimes when we ask ourselves a question and go over things, we can kind of like figure out the answers that we perhaps wouldn't have figured out before, or they wouldn't necessarily come to us, especially when we're following the leader, i.e. the voice of reason. But is the reasoning behind those voices really for your benefit? So take from that what you will. And I'm obviously, weighing things in a certain way, but I think it's clear what it is. What it is he's talking about, what it is I'm trying to convey from George. So all what's gone on the past 2 years with everything. Sickness, health issues also. Those. Okay, is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted to say about that? And he's just saying he thinks it's unfortunate really that a lot of people aren't really taking notice, because if they did, they would probably sit up a lot more and take a lot more control over their own lives, and collectively that's what it is we want. That's what it is we need collectively for everybody to be more supporting each other and on board to bring about the changes that are necessary and the freedom that's necessary. He's playing the song Freedom, yeah, in particular. I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me. All we have to do is take these lies and make them true. That's not what the path you want to go down. He's wanting to make that clear. Okay, thank you, George. Thank you for wording that carefully. Okay. What else was it that you'd like to say? Is there anything else that you'd want to talk about? Okay, I want to talk a little bit about love. Love, what is it you've got to say about that, George? What advice can you give people for love? We had a little bit of love and a little bit of an education, saucy education lesson from Michael. So what does George want to say about love? Well, yeah, he's saying it's a complicated thing. It can be a complicated thing. Love can be two people who are destined to be together, but equally it can be two people who are just meant to come together for a temporary situation. Definitely. But ultimately it's joining forces, a union of two people, regardless of sexual orientation, coming together and being with each other and mutually respecting each other, or at least that's what is the aim. That's what it should be. It doesn't always work out that way. Is that okay to say? Yeah, he's saying that sometimes with people, we can be with people out of need, and he's been there. He understands that. That's something that he has. He'll admit that he's done. He did. But a union should be one that's accepting of both people, a mutual respect and a mutual love. But it's not always going to be a lasting forever love. He certainly didn't have that with some people, but some people, or one in particular, he did. And he's referring to his partner of the past. And he's saying that, when that didn't pan out, that's the words he's using, because he has partner passed on. He said he was sent an earth angel. Is that right? Let me just get this right. Is that what you... It wasn't meant to last forever, but how he felt when he met him, and he's talking about his partner, Kenny, the guy from Texas. He's calling him the Texan Earth Angel. That's what he felt that he was when they met. They were very happy regardless of it coming to an end when it did. But he was a very large part of his life, and he was the ultimate love for him. Although it wasn't his main love. But it came close. It came close to his real, true love. But he's very broken when that one came to an end. So he knows what it's like to suffer losses, because he's had that, and the loss of his mum also. So he knows what it's like to have loved, truly loved, and the pain of the loss as well. He's looking quite serious when he's talking about that now. He's still sitting in the chair, but yeah, he's looking serious now. It's kind of like how he's sitting. He's sitting in that chair, so it's the same light, it's the same colours exactly of that video, but he's not got exactly the same clothes on, but yeah, he's sitting, sort of being contemplative. He's nodding. I'm just asking, is he okay now? Is he okay? He's laughing now, yeah, he's saying he's fine. It's just a little trip down memory lane. But yeah, he's laughing. He's saying he's getting all serious there for a minute. So okay, anything else that you want to say? Yeah, he's saying not on that. He's happy. He's past all that now, and he's happy. He's got his loved ones around him on the other side. Yeah. What is it you do? What is it you do from day to day? Who is it that you spend time with, and what is it you like to do, and what is it that you enjoy? Okay, yeah, he said he spends a lot of time with his friends, and he's showing me Princess Diana, and he's also showing me David Guest, the guy who was married to Liza Minnelli. Is that? There's lots of people he spends time with all over. Yeah, he's showing me Freddie Mercury and Michael Hutchence. I know he's had conversations with them anyway, because he, you know, whenever they've come through, they said, well, George said, or, you know, it was George that opened the door for them to come through. So he's going like that. He's saying that we spend a lot of time together in our little gang. He's saying he's going quite quiet now. Okay, just let me hear what it is you're saying. He's swinging on the chair. He seems to be quite relaxed now. He's going more quiet, so he seems to be relaxed. He's turning the chair. I know the chair turns in the video, but he's moving the chair around. It's not like exactly like that, but you know, he's making it swing anyway. So he's moving slowly, just as you sort of tip it round, and you're speaking to somebody. So he is doing that, but he's thinking. He's not being so chatty now. Come on, George, what else do you want to say? What else do you want to say? I'd like to say keep playing my music, keep playing my songs, listen to the lyrics. Okay. Do you want me to tell them about what it is you're doing up there? Why? I'm just making sure he's okay with me sharing that. Okay, so yeah, I just want to make sure that he's okay, because this is something we spoke about when he first came in to just talk without being filmed. So I just want to make sure that he's okay with that. So yeah, what he's saying is, because I asked him about the fact that he was playing a lot of music and he was making me look up a lot of lyrics, and then he came as himself, you know, in as the Fast Love video, and I was like, well, you seem to be very much more so still like very George Michael, you know, like attached to the songs and attached, you know, to that. And what he's saying, or what he said to me then and what he's saying now, but I just want to get it from him now. I remember what he said, but I just want him to put it in those words. He's saying, well, it's simple, really. The George I was then is pretty much the George he is now. He's the same, he does seem the same. As in what I've seen in interviews, obviously I didn't know him personally in life, but yeah, he's saying he's the same except that he's in spirit. But he enjoys doing the same things, he still enjoys the music, he still enjoys playing that part, and he still has the memories of being George, which of course he would have the memories of that. He has all the memories of the, like, what he did say to me, which again made me laugh, and I just thought he's just got a great sense of humour, is the fact he said that, you know, a lot of the experience of being George Michael was marred by a lot of ugliness on earth and things like that. And he said, it's not like I'm loitering around men's toilets in heaven. That's what he said. I just thought that was like brilliant, because it just shows his sense of humour. And you know, I watched him do like an interview from way back on a British television presenter, Parkson, I think it was, yeah, when he was talking about when all that happened, about the toilet incident, being caught in the toilet incident. And you know, it was just, I love the way he said, like, you know, well, the next day, instead of like most celebrities would like be hiding behind the curtain because all the photographers were all surrounding his house, and he said, and he just decided to go down to his local restaurant, and they were all like, hey. And it's like, I just thought that was brilliant. Like, yeah, why should he hide? But the fact that he did actually just come out his front door and just march down to his restaurant down the street, I just thought was brilliant. And the fact that he made that joke, and just, you know, it's just like, you know, his sense of humour is just amazing. But sorry, continue, yeah, because that's what he was talking about. But yeah, I just want to hear him saying it again in fresh words of how he's feeling about it. I just felt that, yeah, he was very, play my music, look at my lyrics, and he was bombarding my head with the song. So yeah, he had the experience, he's having the experience, he's able to have the experience now, but he's got the control that he perhaps didn't always have here. Being bound by the record companies, and just, you know, expecting to live up to this image, and perhaps not being able to say who he was attracted to at first, those kind of things. So now he's able to be free, he can be George Michael, not exactly like he wants to, you know, be the superstar or anything, but he can have perhaps that experience, but without the ties and the boundaries that he had here. And yeah, you carry on. So now it's much more of a beautiful experience. He can play, and he can experience, yeah, that whole episode as such. But yeah, there's nothing to spoil it, and he's got people on the other side there with him to share it with, but also just in a more open and freeing way than he did before. There's no attachments to the rules of, I've got to do this, I've got to put that out by a certain time, yeah, I've got to do this, I've got to dress this way, I've got to look like this, I've got to pretend. Yeah, and he's talking about, obviously, you know, the fact that he was gay, and but he, you know, he kind of had to like sort of like not be open about that, not hide it. He didn't hide it, but he couldn't be as open as he would have liked about that at first. And, you know, obviously he had to sort of like have women in his videos and, you know, things like that. So although that was okay by him for a time while he figured himself out exactly, you know, who it was he was attracted to, but obviously he's now able to be a lot more freer about who he is, and just not have those ties that he had before. He can put out the music that he wants. There's no one to tell him what to do. There's no, yeah, he's saying there's no pressure to sell a certain amount of tickets and all of that kind of thing, or the venue for, you know, for that kind of like anticipation, but also that little bit of nervousness I don't know, you know, he probably didn't have much of an himself because obviously, you know, a lot of his concerts were to sell out, but still, for him personally, there was always that kind of like a little bit of agitation that, yeah, okay, well, you know, is it going to sell? But he really did enjoy performing, and he's still able to do that on the other side. He's still able to do that on the other side. You know, a lot of them are saying that he still plays his instruments. He's still able to sing. He's still able to have wonderful times. And even though he hasn't got everyone on the other side there with him there, who there's obviously loved ones here and that he still misses, but life is as good as it can be on the other side, although not overwhelmingly, but there's a curiosity to reincarnate and perhaps top, he's saying, top what it is that he did as George, the pop star. He's saying the pop star, the musician, the singer, the performer. But he's not sure in which way he would do that and when. But there is a choice. He's being given a choice. But we'll just have to see, you know, what that is, he's saying, because he's not sure when that's going to be or if it's going to be, but there is that curiosity. But yeah, he's saying it's not an overwhelming feeling, but there is that kind of curiosity to explore that area again, although he has no idea, you know, how or who he's going to come back as and what he's going to be named, he's saying. So yeah, there is that. He did reference that last time. But he's very happy in the state and the space that he is now. He's in a state of being, he's saying. He's saying he's going like that, and he's saying it's peaceful. He's closing his eyes, he's saying it's peaceful. Because he's saying that there's no hidden agendas and there's no friction and there's no battling against anything. So yeah, he's having a really peaceful time, and he's happy with his life over there. He understands now certain things that played out here, but ultimately he's happy with how most of it went. Not all aspects of it, but he can see the bigger picture now. He's being made to understand, and a lot of that he's let go of now. So he's learning to let go of that, any grudges that he held. Although there's still things that transpired here now that he understands. He has memories of having to deal with that, and he still thinks it's wrong. So he's not condoning the things that go on media wise and paparazzi wise and photographers and lack of privacy, things like that. He's saying that yeah, he still doesn't condone them, but he's being able to release them from his soul, to be able to move forward. He's saying in his ascension process. So yeah, he's saying there's still a lot of that healing on the other side that they do get. They get a lot of help with that to release those things, because sometimes things can take a while to understand and come to terms with. So there's still that kind of like hold on period that a lot of people still have, even when the souls cross over. So, but he's saying that yeah, we get extensive help and healing to deal with that. So that's a really big advantage for them over there. Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to say at all, or He's having a good time in that chair. He's sitting in his chair and he's like swinging it. Is there anything else that you want to say at all? He wants to say some thank yous. He wants to say some thank yous to his fans and those who loved him and cherished him, and those who supported him along the way, in sickness and in health. And he's also showing me Teddy's being placed, so I assume that's on his on the burial site. He's saying he's grateful that people still honour his memory, name, and yeah, he sees that people put down like vinyl with his face on, records and memorabilia type stuff, things, people still place things there, or at least they did. But he's being thankful, he's thankful and he's grateful for that, that's, you know, things that have been placed there in the past, people who have remembered him, people who play his songs around birthdays and anniversaries. So yeah, he's thanking and saying that he's extremely grateful for that. And he just wants to say thank you to everyone, really, saying everyone that cared and respected him and supported him throughout his life and still do, even in spirit. That's the way he's saying it. Okay, so now he's standing up and saying, so we're going to give a round of applause to you. So he's clapping, he's really taken on board what I said to him. I was only joking, George. He's took on board, and I was saying, oh, you get brownie points, unless he definitely wants these brownie points. Actually, not for me, is it? So yeah, he definitely wants the brownie points because this is the second time now he's stood up to applaud, and he's actually got out that chair, that comfy chair. Okay, so we're going to wrap this video up now because Spirit don't get tired as such, but again, they still come in and they have to use a certain amount of energy to connect with us and sit with us. So it's an hour now, so yeah, I just want to check in with George and make sure he's okay. He most likely will be back. I'm sure he'll be back again in the future, so consider this maybe part one, probably do like a part two. I think it was perfect that George came in for this next video because somebody else was going to come in. Now that I've done this video, the first person that I mentioned in the first video with Freddie, who was the queue jumper, has actually took a step back and he allowed Michael, and he's now allowed George to come in. So I'm not sure if he's possibly coming in the next video, but I know there's two people there's sort of in my line of sight to do the next video. So obviously when I'm sure myself which exactly one is going to come through, then obviously I'll let you know when by uploading the video. But for now, this is my celebrity channel video on George Michael, and George is standing up and again he's bowing and saying thank you, and he's really grateful. He's always really grateful when he comes through, and he's always very funny and beautiful, and just a really nice soul. He's always upbeat. Each time he's come through, yeah, he's been upbeat, in a great mood, a happy mood, and a very jokey mood. He's really funny. I think he's so funny. His sense of humour is really amazing. I love it. So I always look forward to speaking to him. So, but yeah, please like and subscribe if you haven't already to the video. Place any questions or comments in the comment section, and thank you for joining me for this video. Thank you so much. It means a lot if you're here and you're watching, and tell me what it is you like or you don't like, and yeah, just let me know on any questions or comments. But yeah, until next time, I will see you again for another video, and thank you for joining me, and goodbye. Thank you, bye. Mwah.